Thank you. The Walker County and East Ridge animal shelters are dealing with illness among the animals, so both have temporarily closed.
Dallas Payton has more on what's happening.
Both animal shelters recently had dogs that were brought into their facility. Staff later learned that some of them had Parvo, leading to their temporary closures. Back on April 26th, Joe Legee with the Walker County government says an irresponsible pet owner left a small litter of dogs on the side of the road, and a resident brought the dogs to the shelter. Legee says the dogs were vaccinated and spayed and neutered before being made available for adoption.
A few weeks after they had been at the shelter, 2 of the animals were adopted out, and then we received a phone call from one of the adopters that one of those puppies had tested positive for Parvo.
After quarantining and closing for intake, staff thought they would be in the clear.
As of the start of this week, we do now have 3 confirmed cases of Parvo at the shelter, so we're going to continue to quarantine and we'll reevaluate the situation in early June.
He says none of the dogs were acting sick, but testing led to the discovery of the disease. In East Ridge, Assistant Chief Josh Creel says an animal was recently brought in by Animal Services, and not long after, one of the dogs became ill.
Once this dog began exhibiting symptoms, it was taken for a medical evaluation. Once those tests came back, and after our initial quarantine, the test came back positive for Parvo.
Creel says he was notified on Wednesday that an illness was spreading in the shelter, which turned out to be Parvo. 3 out of 23 dogs have it and are being treated. He says it's a gamble anytime an animal is brought in.
Again, when we bring dogs in, we don't know their vaccination status. We don't know their health status. So the preventative measures, we encourage our pet owners to vaccinate, but we will do our best to prevent the spread. That's why we don't want anybody coming into or out of the shelter, either people or animals at this point.
East Ridge Animal Shelter is planning to reopen their doors on June 5th. Walker County Animal Shelter has not announced a reopening date. For Local 3 News, I'm Dallas Payton.